We began in the United States in what can only be described as one of the nation's most stunning intelligence leaks. President Donald Trump's top office officials mistakenly disclosed highly sensitive war plans in a group chat that included a journalist. According to The Atlantic's editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg, on March 11th, he received a connection request from a user identified as Mike Waltz on the messaging app Signal. 2 days later, the reporter was added to a group chat named the Houthi PC small group. The group had 18 members, including Vice President JD Vance, Secretary of Defence Pete Hegseth, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Goldberg said he witnessed a shocking policy debate on March 14th with the group members discussing military strikes on the Houthis in Yemen. Now, in his bombshell report, Goldberg added that on March 15th, Secretary Hegseth shared an explicit document in the group which included information about targets, weapons, and attack sequencing. Needless to say, Goldberg almost couldn't believe that the text chain was actually real. However, 2 hours later, when bombs dropped on Yemen and members celebrated in the chat, Goldberg concluded that the messages were indeed authentic. Now, the White House has in fact confirmed that top Trump administration officials accidentally included Goldberg in the group chat. However, President Trump said he knew nothing about the leaked chats.
President, your reaction to the story in The Atlantic that said that some of your top cabinet officials and aides had been discussing very sensitive material through Signal and included an Atlantic reporter for that. What is your response to that?
I don't know anything about it. I'm not a big fan of The Atlantic. To me, it's a magazine that's going out of business. I think it's not much of a magazine, but I know nothing about it. You're saying that they had what?
They were using Signal to coordinate on sensitive materials and
having to do with what? Having to do with what? What were they talking about?
With the Houthis.
The Houthis? You mean the attack on the Houthis? Right. Well, it couldn't have been very effective because the attack was very effective. I can tell you that. I don't know anything about it. You're telling me about it for the first time. Anybody else?
Meanwhile, Pentagon Chief Hegseth tried to dodge the question about him mistakenly leaking classified documents.
Why were those details shared on Signal, and how did you learn that a journalist was privy to the targets, the types of weapons used?
I've heard I was characterized. Nobody was texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about that.
Right,
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, reports say the stunning leak has now triggered furious discussion inside the White House about National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. While some want him out of the administration, others think his possible resignation depends on how President Trump personally feels about the matter. The shocking revelation also puts Vice President Vance in a difficult position as his text pointedly expressed doubts about the strikes in Yemen. The security breach has also provoked outrage among Democrats, with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer calling for an investigation. And now, with criticism mounting against the mishandling of America's top secret war plans, it remains to be seen how, in fact, President Donald Trump navigates through his administration's latest debacle.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
No, I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.